Welcome back again to this video. This is a video I really wanted to do just to talk about my personal health journey, where I was and where I am now. So as most of you probably saw my Instagram, you saw my before and after picture, but just for reference, I will post it right now. So my weight in the picture that you saw was about 23 pounds over the weight that I am today. And the way that I got there was through eating a lot of junk food. So I was eating McDonald's, I was eating poutines, pizzas, which are not always bad, but I was eating them in excess. I was having them every other day or every day, which obviously was very unhealthy. And on top of that, I was mindless eating. So mindless eating means that I was eating without even being aware of how much I was eating. An example of mindless eating is if you're having one donut and you end up to 4 donuts and you don't even understand how you got there. Or you started out with a full bag of chips and you realize that you finished it while watching a Netflix movie. So I was doing a lot of mindless eating. On top of that, I also had an addiction to food. Well, I started to develop an addiction to food. What that means is just that I was not able to control myself. When you're addicted to something, it means that even if you tell yourself no, you'll still have it. So I would look at the pizza, for example, and know that that one or that 2 slices that I had was enough, but I would go and have about 2 more. So definitely at that point, food was an addiction for me. So all of that resulted as a young woman for me having a lot of body image issues, because I knew that when I was looking in the mirror, I was not comfortable with the way that I looked. I was especially not comfortable with the way that I felt. And I just wanted to look different. I wanted to feel different. But instead of taking that time to reassess the way that I was eating or even reassess my lifestyle, I became obsessed with the way that I looked. I wanted to look like everybody else that I thought was fit. So what I did is I got right into Fad Diets. Fad Diets is a quick fix. So it's a diet like the Master Cleanse, where you're only drinking that cayenne pepper, lemon, water mix, which is really gross. Don't try that. Or I also did the cabbage soup diet. And for anybody that's done that diet, first of all, that soup really smells and it does not taste good at all. But I just wanted quick results. I didn't want to reassess what my mental state was. I didn't want to reassess maybe at how I ate. I just wanted a quick result because now my mind was focused on looking good. So I got into these fad diets and I would get the results, but the diet was so intense that the results would come, but I was not able to maintain it. So now I became obsessed with seeing the results, but not being able to separate myself from my past, my bad habits, my past way of eating. So I would do this diet and restart it again, stop, gain weight, and I became like a yo-yo, like they say, right? So the eating disorders that I started to deal with were bulimia and anorexia. I dealt with them, but at a minor level. Why I'm saying minor is because it was not full-fledged, as in I was constantly puking or taking laxatives to burn off the food I ate, but I would do it intermittently. So I would eat, and then I would work out really hard for a period of time, and then I would go back to just my unhealthy habits, or I would force myself to maybe not eat for one day just to be able to feel like I made up for the past whole pizza that I had. The underlying reason though about why I was getting into the eating disorders, the fad diets, was really because I had unrealistic goals for myself. So I was looking at the media, for example, at celebrities and seeing how they looked, and I didn't feel like I looked like that. So my mental health was already off. You can't start a healthy journey with that in mind. You can't start a healthy journey with trying to mimic someone, like trying to look like someone. Even if that someone is not a celebrity or someone you just see, we're all different. So I had to get to a point where I told myself, listen, this unrealistic pressure that I'm placing on myself, this trying to look like what I'm seeing on the media or trying to look like different celebrities, who, by the way, have a lot of help that us regular people don't have, it was just unrealistic. So I took a step back and I told myself, I have to get to this healthy lifestyle in the right way. Living a healthy lifestyle is balancing the mental health and your physical health. So that means that both of those go hand in hand. So from what you heard of my story, I was obviously going about it the wrong way, because in my mental, I was obsessing and trying to be something that I wasn't, which was depressing me. And in my physical health, it was showing because I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff that was not taking me anywhere. So I took a step back and I started to research. That's where my love for healthy and chic came out. Well, the wanting to do healthy and chic came out. I would research all the time, any article, any videos, any documentaries, for example, that were talking about health, to really understand what it meant to live that lifestyle. And I realized that these people were, first of all, their goals was not to look a certain way. It was to feel a certain way. So health for me starts from the inside out now. I realized that food is not to be looked at as the effects that it will have on your looks, but about how it's fueling your body. So I realized that food for me had to become a source of energy. It had to become somewhere where I was eating to know that, okay, I'm eating this healthy breakfast, for example, to be able to have a good start to my day. Or I'm eating this to be able to be strong for this reason. Or I'm eating this because my body needs it. And when I started looking at life that way, I realized that, yeah, maybe the pizza every day is not going to give me that energy. And maybe eating that McDonald's is going to make me feel really lazy and tired, which you usually feel when you eat a lot of junk food. So that really changed my mindset on a healthy lifestyle and started me on this journey. So as I started trying out new recipes, healthy alternatives to foods that I love, because I do not condone the fact that you need to eat boring food to be healthy. You can make really healthy food taste extremely good, and that's where my passion for cooking was really birthed. For example, I loved shepherd's pie, but I found a way to make it healthier. I added a lot of vegetables in it. I maybe used sweet potato instead of just only regular potato. So I started to try different alternatives to be able to still enjoy food, but to know that the food that I'm eating is going to be responsible, for example, for the kind of day I'm going to have, for the kind of mind I'm going to have at different things that I will be doing. And all of that really resulted in me finding what worked for me. So what worked for me was really eating less carbs, because I was eating a lot of white pasta, I was eating a lot of white bread, I was eating a lot of cakes, I was eating a lot of the pizzas, all that stuff. What I did is I scaled back a lot on those types of food. I focused more on complex carbs, which are found in vegetables, a lot of green vegetables, any vegetables really. And I started to focus more on the quality of the food that I was eating. And when I did that, I was able to maintain that lifestyle because I had enough food, it tasted good, but the food was also good sources for me, good quality. So I started to set new goals for myself. My previous goals was to look a certain way, for people to be like, oh, wow, she has a great body, or for me to be compared to celebrities. But my new goal became, I want to be healthy and I want to have the best body that I can have. We're all shaped in different ways for a reason. We cannot all look the same. And to be honest, that's extremely boring. Right now, we're presented one body type and all of us should reach to have that body type, but that is not realistic. So I took that and I erased that from my head and I told myself, you know what, Losima, you're going to be able to build the best body that you can build. And that is different for everyone. So my new goals really pushed me to stay on a healthy journey, because now my mental was right, my goals were good, and I was able to stay in a way of eating that I knew I was able to sustain. So don't do diets or get into diets that you know you're not going to be able to do. So to go back to, for example, a master cleanse diet, that's not something sustainable. So you have to find a way of eating that works for you. For example, some people do veganism, some people are vegetarian, some people are plant-based, some people are paleo, some people are keto, some people are low carb. So you have to try different diets to really be able to find out what works for you, because the healthy journey is not white and black. You're not just going to start one day and get it and then just continue on. No, you're going to have to try. You're going to diminish some things. You're going to add some things and see that this doesn't work for you, that this works. So you have to be really open to just trying. And that's what the journey is all about until you find your flow. And let me tell you, once you find your flow, it's not that much harder. It doesn't get that much harder. Because right now I can say that I found my flow. And I do sometimes get off plan, which happens to everyone. But because I found my flow, it's so easy for me to go back to what now has become natural to me. So to encourage you, start your healthy journey. If you have not started a healthy journey, I really encourage you to at least give it a try. Remember that you have to be open, that you have to have a good mindset and have set realistic goals for yourself and start slow. Slow and steady actually wins the race. I used to hate that quote, but in the healthy journey, it became more true to me than anything. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that through this video, you were able to understand a little bit of my passion and where and what I did to get to a healthy journey. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share this video, and I'll see you on the next one, which will be the Q&A portion that I also hope you enjoy.